Hello there. Today we are going to try the destruction we've built again, because last time we made some questionable choices. So let's see. Oh, pulse right there. For the shield, I think don't really want anything from this. So we are going to skip it. For the body we are going with the battery again. Oh, there it is. We are going to need hull. I don't know if I want to take polar inversion right now. Might be a bit too dangerous for the moment. Mines, yeah. We are definitely going to need mines with the retribution and loaded mines. Since we are going to take the polar inversion and we are going to get hit a lot. Absorption of the blast radius. I guess let's go for the absorption right now. Retribution, loaded mines. Magnitude, I suppose. Yeah, because we're going to need the charged shot sooner rather than later. Velocity, while it doesn't really affect our blast radius, it will unlock snipe and incendiary strike for later on. But let's go with the blast radius for the moment. Oops, I might have muted the game there for a moment. We'll see in the recording. Okay, so what do we have here? Shields, we are going to ditch those probably. Splinter doesn't really work very well with pulse. Concentrated blast, we want to increase our blast radius as much as possible, so let's reroll here. High explosive for the adaptive armor. I suppose let's get the adaptive armor for now. Force armor. Yeah, sure. As you can see, we already have 3 explosions, I believe, on the mine. Yeah, it looks like it. So this will mean that we will be making quite a lot of damage when things are going to bump into us with the polar inversion and trigger our retribution with the mine, as well as the phantom strike if we are going to get it. Rate of fire is not really necessary. Let's get the regeneration. Incandescence. We could got possibly purge. I don't know if you want to spend those upgrades here though. Maybe later on, because that will scale with the incendiary strike as well. And we will be crashing into enemies, so the purge might be good. Let's take the snipe. Elegant constructs, maybe later on. Let's focus on the core stuff first. The explosion radius, the blast radius. Nothing here really that we particularly want. Skirmish is going to be a must-have because of that crash and shoot synergy. And we want Terminate as well. We won't be taking Essence Sap. Blitz is also good for that 20% damage increase. Sure, let's start that tree already, because we might not get it later on if we skip it right now. I also need to remember to deploy the mines whenever possible. Okay. Payload, yes, because we won't be taking Splinter. Terminator Rapture. No, Rapid Reconstruction. We do have our hull tree completed. But I think that Terminate is something that's going to make bosses a lot easier for the moment. And so that's what we're going to take. Juggernaut. The maximum health does increase your regeneration indirectly, so we are going to take it later on. Charge shot, there is that polar inversion as well, but I think the charge shot is the way to go for now. It's unfortunate that the loaded mines do not benefit from the charge shot, but I suppose that could be a little bit too overpowered. Wow, that was a nice shot. And goodbye Omega Station. Or Station Omega? I think it's Station Omega. Same difference, as they say. Channeling here, I think, is the way to go. We will want to take Slipstream probably to reduce our friction, so we don't get chained knocked back or chain crashes, because battery is very resistant to the knockback. and this will help us get away from enemies when they crash into us. But I think we want channeling for the moment. Shields we don't want. Efficiency, not really, because we will be charging the shot all the time. Defiance, always good, one of my favorite mods. It's not as good as it used to be, but it still does add a lot of defenses. Okay, we're starting to see this retribution going off whenever our shields are down. Here's the boost, it's nice. Rupture, spike, revelation. Revelation, what are we going to take from the wild mods? A slipstream for sure. I'll have to look at my little cheat sheet for this build. I think just Defiance and Slipstreams are the only wild recursive mods that we are going to take. But it's here and it would be silly not to take it. It's a free upgrade basically. I would recommend leaving mines at the edge of the screen, so wherever something comes in, it just instantly dies. As you can see, our blast radius is pretty big already. And it's only going to get bigger. Here's the Scion. Heavy caliber. But this is projectile size, not the blast radius, so that doesn't really work for us. Targeting. Obviously not needed. Volley. No, we are going to stake with our two blasts. Rancor, maximum hull, maximum weapon damage, plating. All good. Rapture also good, but we will need it for the Warbringer, so we can skip it for now. We are really slow right now. We will need the power reserves sooner rather than later. No. Okay, I think we got most of it. We did get a boost, so that's nice. Some reloads there as well as level ups. Celestials already. Oh, that was easy. Okay. Polar inversion blitz. I think bleeds for the moment, for that 20% damage increase, 25 even, since most of the hits are going to be on full health enemies. Stabilization, yeah, we're gonna need that. I don't know if we should take it right away, maybe. Probably better to get it sooner than later. Okay, then the power reserves. Yeah, this is much better. It's still pretty slow because the battery itself have a thrust of 75 only. So this is not going to be very mobile build. But at least we can move instead of just slowly crawling away. Strafe might be useful just to be able to get out of sticky situations if we need to, but this is not really a main concern for now. So we are going to take Mastery because it's just an all-around 5% boost to everything. Which is very nice indeed. Okay, what do we have here? Snipe, I suppose. Like I said, it doesn't really affect the blast radius. It will increase the velocity of the shrapnel, so you do gain a bit of range from that. However, what we really want is the total damage increase based on the distance, since as you can see the blast radius is already pretty big. This will be an upgrade. Twin Strike, no. Transmogrification, we don't really want to ditch those 7 rewards that we have. Okay, this might be time for the rapid reconstruction. We have most of the defensive mods that we're going to need. As you can see I don't know, do we have Rupture already? Not yet, but still it was a pretty easy fight with bumping into him. The skirmish did increase our damage significantly. And he died pretty fast, since we are doing damage to all his parts at the same time. or shielding. While we are not really going to do self-damage to us, the 5 base hull is some okay-ish thing. The 20% more duration on the armor stacks is a nice thing though. So we are going to take it. How does our regeneration look like? 8.5, we have 200 health, so that's pretty nice. The battery have a 125 of the base hull. So I think it's the highest of all the gears that are available. And we are able to take those crash hits for the time being to increase our pulse damage. Yeah, let's take the incendiary strike because it's going to just finish off those enemies that we didn't manage to kill in one hit. Mine specialist, yeah, that's something that we want as well for that mine damage and effect. Assembly speed, more mines, this is all perfect for us. And we can just make more and more mines now. Rupture. Does the 3% of the destroyed enemy's hull? This seems like it's not much, but it does scale with the global damage, blast damage, since it is blast damage, and those explosions does scale with the blast radius as well. It does add up. Adrenal module. I mean, we might take it because we don't have shields, and we are going to constantly be taking damage to our hull whenever we take the polar inversion, if we are going to take it, because RNGesus might be against that. There we go. It wasn't too bad. DPS is not great for those high health enemies, but we did manage to kill Seraph all the same. It wasn't all that bad. Nothing here, maybe Juggernaut. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take Juggernaut because we do want singular strike, and it does increase our regeneration as well. 7.8 because we don't have any channeling stacks right now. Okay, and since we still have the revelation, we can grab 3 defiances. That's 1.5 plating. Self-damage resistance doesn't really concern us. Reduction from the weapon recoil. From the weapon recoil doesn't matter as well, but we'll get the 12% to the resistance to thrust reduction. This will allow us to move faster. It's not much, but it does make a little bit of difference. I love how they explode with the rapture. Okay. Yeah, like I said before, those juggernauts and other high health enemies are a bit harder to deal with. Can't really one-shot them like with the charge railgun. I don't really want anything from here. Another defiance, but we do have Phantom Strike. I think this is going to be the mod that we are going to take. This is a really bad one. We want Singular Strike, Defiance, Phantom Strike and Slipstream. But I think since Phantom Strike is a rather rare mod, we are going to take it here. And another Juggernaut. Okay, as for the Juggernaut, Phantom Strike, do I have to hit them head on? Well, I just have to hit them anyway. Here we have the Outreach module that also does synergize with what we're doing here. We need to take 10% of our hull, maximum hull to fire, but I think it's worth a try. should be exploding quite a lot now. Okay, so at this point we are probably going to start seeing a lot of Celestials, more and more of them, since the game really wants to die past the wave 100. We could take propulsive munitions because it doesn't really affect us with that 180 degrees angle. It's 15% total weapon damage. Projectile size is for shrapnel only. We will be pushing ourselves forward with the propulsive munition, but that I think is okay, since we want to crash into things anyway. So sure, let's take it. And it does reverse our shrapnel. That doesn't really matter all that much. What else do we need? We still don't have that polar inversion. We might not get it. We do have 13 rerolls, so we can try to get it. Elegant constructs is something that you might want because of that assembly speed per level, meaning that you're going to spit out more mines. Slipstream, but let's keep... oh, there we go, polar inversion. And let's see how fast we are going to die now. That was a strange teleport. I think I warped through the screen. Yeah, but one thing that have to be said about this build, it have a really good wave clear. You are just destroying everything on the screen. Rampage. It is global damage and max hull, which is nice, but that constant thrust might be a bit too much, especially later on. when there will be a lot of mines and just everything on the screen. Also on the other side, with the pulse and the clearing that we have, that might not be an issue. I'm trying to think what else do we need. I think at this point we pretty much have everything. I'm going to look at my cheat sheet again. Yeah, I think we pretty much have everything. We might want to get some fire rate for faster charge. What level are we? 40. So there's probably like 1, 2, maybe 3 levels left before the run ends, depending on how well we do. Ataraxia is also an option, but this late in the game it's not really going to do much for us. Between 5 and 15% of global damage. It doesn't really sound all that great. So maybe the rampage is the way to go. Sure, let's try. As you can see, that did increase our regeneration by a bit. Okay, it's a bit more difficult to control now, but it's not that bad. Okay, let's not get hit by those, because those hurt like a truck. There we go, more Celestials. They tried to sandwich us, but it turned out to be a pretty bad idea for them. I don't know if I want to take another rampage. Hyper metabolism might be an option here to increase our regeneration. It does reserve the 15% of hull, but since we have adrenal module, that's more damage for us. There's that rapid fire as well. But I think it's not that important, since most of our hits come from the loaded mines, Outrage and Phantom Strike, which are not charged, so it doesn't really matter for them. Only our main weapon will benefit from this. I think the regeneration might be the best choice here. So this bumps us to 12.3 regeneration, and that's, I don't know, without stacks. No, we do have some armor stacks. It is pretty good. And that 15% reserved hull doesn't really affect us all that much. And more Celestials. Those explosions will probably kill us sooner or later. Okay, masochism is also an option here, especially now with the hypermetabolism. That self-damage resistance doesn't really do much for us, but 15% more global damage. I don't know what is the threshold here. Do you have to be at one hull point to receive the full 15%, or it's like half health or something? I don't really know. I think we are either going to get agility for rotation, maybe not. And actually I don't know if we really need it, since we are doing damage all around us, so it's not that important. Let's try to get some wild modes, since we have a lot of rerolls. Slipstream. Sure. This build did assume that we are going to take Slipstream, but now that I have Rampage, I don't know if it's all that good now, but let's see. There's Warbringer again, and he's almost gone. There we go, that was easy. That was a heavy hit. We have to watch out for all those enemies that spawn those big projectiles, because past the level 100 they tend to scale really crazily, and they do lots and lots of damage, and maybe we are not going to visit the black hole. That would be nice. No. Okay, that was close. Unfortunately, we did manage to spawn the black hole, so we are going to have to wait a bit. Also be very careful of those purple projectiles there. They killed me a lot of times in the late waves. They can really do up to like 200 damage per shot, depending on the wave. Yeah, the Seraph is here again. Maybe let's not fly into those orbs of energy. And there we go. Unfortunately, we got teleported straight into his projectiles. Oh well, I think that was a pretty decent run anyway. Wave 181. So there you go. The destruction wave. Done properly this time. See you later, guys.